girls, it's Coach Emily from BK Softball Lounge and the Michigan Odyssey. I just wanted to come to you today with a workout that you can do at home and just with stuff that you have lying around your house, lying around the yard. The weather's definitely getting nicer, so you can get outside for some of this. And then there's also some of it that can still be done indoors. So I'm going to take you through it and we'll have a good workout. So the first thing you want to do always, before practices, before games, before any time you're working out, is do a dynamic warm-up. So depending on how much space you have, if you have a limited amount of space, you can just do some dynamics in place. Otherwise, you can do the dynamic stretching in like a walking motion where you're always moving. I'll just do it in place to show you. So you want to do some knee hugs here. Probably do 3 or 4 each side. Get you nice and warm. And now some quad grabs. So grab your foot behind your body, stretch that quad. Some ankle grabs, which stretch out all these muscles back here. So you want to kind of support your knee and grab your ankle and pull up. Alright, and then the hamstring stretch. I know some people call it flower pickers or grass sweepers, but you want to take one foot and have your other foot like this. So you want the toe of one foot to line up with the heel of the other foot. Now this foot out here, out front, you want your toe up. So this foot out front, you want your toe up, and you want to keep that leg straight, but you can bend this leg, and you'll feel a stretch back here in your hamstrings. And you can switch. Do a couple groin stretches here, back and forth. And then if you have the space for it, you can do some high knees, you can do some butt kicks, some karaoke, both ways. You also want to really warm up your hips also, so you can do these. Stepping over the hurdle, as some like to call it. And then back over the hurdle. Then we want to loosen up the arms. So start some arm circles. You want small, medium, and big. Going forward and backward. And you can do a couple of each, doing one at a time. Alright, let's get started. So, for this, you can pick one of 2 agility drills that I'm going to show you. Or if you really want to, you could do both, but for the workout I planned, you only have to pick one. So the first one is called the star drill. So you can use objects that you have laying around your house or laying around your yard to kind of serve as your makeshift cones to make out the layout of a star here. So you can kind of see in my yard I have a giant rock, a couple of flower pots, a watering can. and then a bucket. So literally whatever you have laying around, you can use as your makeshift cones. But so, you want to start at the bottom of the star here. So you notice that the giant rock is the tip of the star, the top of the star. You want to start at one side of the bottom of your star. And what you're going to do is sprint up to the tip, backpedal to the other bottom point of the star over here, which is my bucket. Sprint diagonal to one of the sides of the star. So this would be my flower pot over here. Shuffle across to the other side point of the star. And then for this, instead of just backpedaling back, I want you to drop step and then sprint back through the point where you started, which would be the watering can for this one. So I'm going to show you. You can do that twice from that side and then move over to start on the other bottom point of the star and do it the same way, just so that you have the option to shuffle going both directions. So 2 from one bottom point, 2 from the other bottom point. So I'll show you from starting at this other bottom point now. And then you can take about 20-30 seconds rest in between each time you do it to make sure you have adequate recovery time between runs. So the second agility drill you have the option of doing is just a simple sprint, decelerate, laterally hop over an object, and then sprint all the way through to another designated spot. So for this one I'm using the watering can, flower pot, football to hop over, and then there's a rock all the way down there to sprint all the way to. So I'm going to start the watering can, sprint to the flower pot, hop sideways over the football, and then sprint to the rock as soon as I touch the ground. You want to be quick. So let me show you how that's done. So for this drill, you can make the total length about 60 feet, just like home to first if you have the room for it. And then you can switch things up and move the object you're hopping over to the other side so that you're side hopping the other direction. So about 60 feet for this if you have the space. If not, just shorten it up, not a big deal. For the star drill, if you have the space for about 60 feet apart, top to bottom, then that's awesome. If not, like I said, just shorten it up a little bit, not a big deal. Just work with what you got. All right, girls, once you've gotten a drink of water, if you need to, then you can start the strength training portion of this workout. So the first group of exercises we're going to do will include squat jacks, push-ups, and plank jacks. So how this is going to work, for each group of 3 exercises, you're going to do each exercise once, and then jump back to the top, do each exercise again, and then jump up to the top one more time, and do each exercise a 3rd time through, and then move on to the second group of 3 exercises. So I have written out 4 groups of 3 exercises, but you only have to pick 3 groups out of those 4 to do. If you want to do all 4, then that's perfectly okay also. So I'm just going to show you a sample of each so that you know what you're doing and how to do the exercise. And then you can pause the video and go through the of exercises all 3 times, and then resume the video again to find out the next group and how to do the next group. All right? So the first one, squat jacks. You are literally squatting down here. You want to make sure that your knees are staying neutral and not buckling in, and also not coming way out to the side. You want to keep them in line with your feet. So you're going to squat down, jump up, and bring your feet together. And when you jump up and bring your feet together, you do touch the ground. And then immediately, as soon as you touch the ground, you want to jump back out into a squat. So you're jumping up and out, up and out. Feet together and back out. So you want to do 15 of those right in a row, all right? So let's go ahead and do the first set together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Nice job, guys. Another thing to keep in mind is you want to make sure that your heels are touching the ground the whole time that you are squatting. So you never want to be forward on your toes like this when you're going down to squat. You always want to have your weight back in your heels like you're sitting in a chair. The next exercise is push-ups. So this one, you want to do the maximum number of push-ups you can before you can't push yourself up anymore, and that'll be your set for that. So you can do them either full push-ups or from your knees, but if you do them from your knees, you want to make sure that your body, your butt in particular, is still moving like a straight board instead of sticking your butt out and just pushing your chest down. You want to make sure your body is still nice and straight. So I will demonstrate both for you. So full push-ups, you want your hands somewhere a little wider than your shoulders. You don't want them out too far, but somewhere in this area here. And then up on your toes. Straight body, go all the way down, all the way back up. So you want to make sure you keep your butt down for that one too. So I will show you the knee push-ups from the side now. So like I said, for this one, you want to make sure that you keep your butt in line with the rest of your body and don't end up sticking your butt out and just pushing your chest. So, knees bent, tuck your butt in. You can cross your ankles, line your hands up the same way. You can squeeze your butt and your core to help remind you to keep that tucked in. And go ahead. So notice my whole body is moving as one straight board instead of just going like this, all right? One straight board. So like I said, you're going to do the maximum number of push-ups that you can for that round. So the final exercise of that round are plank jacks. So what's going to happen is that you're going to get in a normal plank stance with your feet together up on your toes, and instead of just holding it like you would a normal plank, you're gonna space your feet out and bring them back together. Jump your feet out, bring them back together. And you're gonna do that for 30 seconds, trying to keep the movement of your body side to side and the movement of your hips as still as possible while squeezing your core. So these look like this. You're gonna wanna do this for 30 seconds. So set up in a normal plank, and then jump and spread your feet apart and back together. 30 seconds, and then you start back at the top with squat jacks. Do 15 of those, move to push-ups, back to plank jacks, and then do them all one more time, and then you can move on to the second group of exercises. So the second group of exercises actually begins with step-ups. So you're going to want to find something you can step up on, at least a foot off the ground. So I have my porch steps down here. If you can, try to get your whole foot on the step. If not, just really make sure your heel is on the full step. So you're going to step up one leg at a time. You can move your arms opposite of your legs just like you're running. So when you step up, you want to push through your heel and then drive your opposite knee up. So you're going to go here, drive, step back down, drive, step back down, drive. So you want to do 10 on that leg, and then go ahead and switch and do 10 on the other leg. And you want to make these as fast as you can. You want these to be explosive step-ups, just how you explode when you're coming off of a base. You explode out of your athletic ready position to go field a ball or to chase down a ball, and you explode out of the batter's box. So it's very applicable to softball. So here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nice job. So after you do those two, then you can move on to the second exercise of the group, which are Supermans with a reach. Okay, so the next exercise is Supermans with a reach. So a normal Superman, you're just lifting your arms and legs up off the mat and then bringing them back down. But this time, you're going to lift your arms and legs up and then spread them apart almost like you're swimming. Bring them back together and then put them back down on the mat. So we want to do 20 of these. So up, swim, back together, 1. Up, swim, back together, 2. Up, swim, back together, 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Nice job. So the final exercise in this group of 3 is going to be alternating plank, which you're going to do for 30 seconds. Now this one's kind of tough, but I want you to push yourself and do the very best you can. So alternating plank, you're going to start up in a plank on your hands and drop down one arm at a time to your forearms and then push back up to a plank on your hands. So this, you want to limit how much you're swinging your hips by squeezing your core tight, all right? So I'll show you a little sample of it. And you want to do that for 30 seconds. So once you get through all 3 exercises in the second group once, then you want to go back through them a second time, and then a third time, and then move on to your third group of exercises. So your third group of exercises is going to begin with a single leg glute bridge. So you're really targeting all your hamstring muscles and glutes back here. And you're going to do that 12 times each leg. So lie down like you're gonna do a sit-up. Bring one knee to your chest and keep it there. And then bridge your hips up. Squeezing the glutes and your hamstrings. And you want to do that for 12 reps each leg, and then move on to the second exercise. The second exercise and the third group of exercises are called goal posts. So what's going to happen, you're going to do a wall sit against a relatively flat wall, so either the side of your house, like this, or you can go inside and find a wall inside your house, but you want the surface relatively flat because you're going to be running your hands along the wall. But you're going to get down here in a wall sit. And then you want to bring your hands like this, like you're signaling for a goal in football. And you want to keep the backs of your hands touching the wall the whole time you're doing this. So here, about 90 degrees with your elbow. You're going to go all the way up, keeping the backs of your hands against the wall, and all the way back down. All the way up, all the way back down. You're going to do that 12 times. And as a bonus, try to push your lower back against the wall so that you're engaging your core the whole time. The third exercise of this third group of exercises is the Russian twist. So you're going to be here on your butt with your knees bent. Try to keep your posture up tall, but then lean it back. So basically you want to keep your spine as straight as you can without hunching over like this trying to do this exercise. So nice and tall, lean back as far as you're able. Then you're going to twist your arms to each side and try to touch your elbow behind you. Now to make this exercise more challenging, you can lift your feet off the ground, and that adds a stability component to the exercise as well. So feet up. And you're going to want to do 30 reps each side. So the fourth group of exercises for this is going to be a clock lunge, tricep dips, and leg lifts. So I'm going to show you the clock lunge first. And this is going to be 8 reps per leg. So the clock lunge, you want to be lunging in front, lunging to the side, lunging behind you, and then lunging behind and across. So the first one is going to be just a normal forward lunge. So if we're going to stick to the right leg first, you want to do the same leg, all 4 spots. So you're going to want to go forward lunge, side lunge, reverse lunge, and then back behind you, crossing your right leg back behind you, is a curtsy lunge. Alright, and that's 1 rep. Then you go here, to the side, reverse, curtsy, that's 2. So then you would do that side 8 reps, and then switch to the other leg. So left leg, forward, to the side, reverse, curtsy, that's 1. Forward, to the side, reverse, curtsy. Now, some important things to keep in mind when you're lunging is that you want your posture to be straight up and down, just like someone has the handle of a broom running up and down your spine, all the way down to your butt. And you're just trying to touch that broom right on the ground, just tapping it right on the ground. So you want your posture posture to be here, straight up and down, rather than leaning forward like this, or even back too far like this. Another thing to keep in mind is you want to be pushing through your heel with the leg that you're lunging with. So you don't want to be in your toe when you're lunging forward like this. You want to keep your heel on the ground and push your weight through your heel and then back through your heel again when you go to step up. You want to make sure you take a big enough step. That way your knee doesn't go all the way past your toe here, because that could cause injury and also doesn't help with trying to keep your weight back in your heel. So take a big enough step. You pretty much want your knee to be right over your ankle if you can, rather than forward like this. And then you can use opposite arm as your leg, like you do in running, to help keep your balance. So like I said, you want to do 8 reps on each leg. So once all the way around, all 4 spots is 1 rep. So you want to do 8 reps each leg. The second exercise in this 4th group of exercises are tricep dips. So you're going to want to find a surface. I am going to use the same steps that I used for step-ups to place your hands on to be able to lower yourself and then push yourself back up. So you can use steps, you can use a sturdy table or a chair, or just a random ledge somewhere around your house. So for the tricep dips, you want to try to get to the maximum number you can do, just like push-ups, and that'll be your 1 set. So have your arms a little bit outside of your torso on your step or whatever surface that you're going to use, and you don't need to dip down any more than your arm being parallel to the ground. And you also want to set up your legs so that you're sitting on your heels. So kind of like this, but on the ground out in front of you. So straight legs, sitting on your heels. Try to stick your butt out here, just like you're a straight board again. Then go down and up. Alright, and you want to try to do the maximum number you can. The final exercise in this 4th group of exercises are leg lifts. Now these are really going to work your core and your hip flexor muscles. So you're going to lay flat on the ground. You want to take your hands kind of in the shape of a triangle like this and put them under your tailbone to give you some support so you're not inching forward or inching back on the mat. Kind of helps stabilize you if your core is not strong enough to be able to keep you from rocking back and forth so much. So hands in a triangle right underneath of your tailbone. And then you're gonna keep your back flat on the ground. Try to push your lower back down into the mat to engage your core. And you want to lift your legs up together and then slowly back down. And you want to do 15 reps of those, and that'll be the last exercise in this 4th group of exercises. So then you want to start back at the top and go through them a 2nd time and then a 3rd time, and then you're finished with the strength training portion of this workout. So after you get through the strength training sets of the workout, you want to end your workout by doing some sprints. And again, I'm going to give you 2 options. You can do both of them if you want, or you can just pick one. It's up to you. But the first one would just be straight sprints. If you have room for 60 feet, just like in the base path, then I'd go with that for sure. If not, you still have some room to sprint, then like I said before, just work with what you got you'll still get some benefit out of it. All right, so I have my 2 flower pots set up here so you can kind of see what that looks like, but like I said, just straight sprints for the first one. And you would go through that 3 times for your straight sprints, and then have about 20-30 seconds rest in between to give yourself a breather. So the second option is more like you are trying to steal a base. So this time you're going to lead off hard, probably 2 or 3 steps, turn and shuffle about twice to see where the ball is, and then turn and sprint straight the rest of your way to your base. All right? And after every workout, practice, and game, it's important that you do some form of static stretching to help your body cool down and to help your muscles in recovery so you're not as sore the next day. I will try to post the static stretching series of exercises that I like to use personally down in the description below. So if you're interested, go ahead and check that out. Just a reminder that since the stay-at-home executive order is extended in Michigan until May 15th, Coach Bree and I are offering virtual lessons. So Coach Bree offers catching, hitting, and fielding, and I offer pitching and strength training like this. You can find those on our website, and I'll post a link in the description below. Stay home and stay safe so we can get back to playing and coaching the game we love. Bye, guys.